the Earth was the center of the universe.
You know, I've always said that
Play with you and me. Thank you for making this rhyme.
This is next-generation spacecraft. Built with versatility in mind, it can take astronauts deeper into space than we've ever gone before, to an asteroid or even onto Mars. For these missions, Orion has to be one tough spacecraft, withstanding high speeds, searing temperatures, and extreme radiation. Before we can send astronauts into space on Orion, we have to test all.
Not really.
This is next-generation spacecraft. This is next-generation spacecraft.
As you can see, it is an official national aeronautics and
feel outdated, but I appreciate it. Size 0.
Anything else in the galaxy?
Dying for
Its mission is over. How do we ensure?
Publication 1207, 1988. Derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model. As you can see, it is an official National Aeronautics and Space Administration document.
Gotcha, I see it. Yeah, I got him. They're there. Oh my God! You've got to be kidding me!
Every single day we're being led astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle.
What?
I'd like to call to order this secret conclave of America's media empires. We're here to come up with the next phony baloney crisis to put Americans back where they belong, in dark rooms glued to their televisions.
They're controlling our minds with flu shots. I knew it. Well, kids, now aren't you glad we don't believe in inoculation?
BC, you are here to listen and not speak. I think we should go with a good old-fashioned public health scare.
Yeah. A new disease. No one's immune. It's like the summer of the shark, except instead of a shark, it's an epidemic.
Fair enough, I'll level with you. Your webpage has stumbled upon our secret plan.
And instead of summer, it's all the time.
That is so...
Janice, we do have standards. This can't be a made-up disease. The only moral thing to do is release a deadly virus into the general public.
Can't have you out there mucking it up now, can we?
No, sir.
There's a good boy.
We just have to blame it on something that's in every household, something that people are a little bit afraid of already. House cat flu is coming, people. The Center for Disease Disinformation predicts with some degree.
Of course. It's so simple. Wait, no, it's not. It's needlessly complicated.
Yes, it is.
Of probability that the house cat flu might spread in the following hypothetical outbreak pattern. So, petter beware, that warm body on your lap just might be ready to destroy yours.
But why?
To drive people into a frenzy of shopping. That's why flu shots are given just before Christmas.
Or tender victuals.
They're controlling our mind. Boy, let's get you some ice cream.
Springfielders are advised to stay tuned for more information if they experience any of the following symptoms: mild thirst, occasional hunger, tiredness at night.
There we are. Let's get you some ice cream. There we are.
every time I'm walking on the face of the earth, looking up into the sky. I see the stars moving and hear the music grooving, and all I wanna know is why. Well, there's another theory that makes me feel leery, 'cause maybe things are not like they seem. So am I really spinning on a giant ball, or is it all just make-believe? Is the earth a sphere? Is the earth a plane? Now it's hard to say, oh yeah, like a program for a video game. You move how you move, but you think it's insane, yeah.
30 seconds and counting. Ski Reaper just said fast. It's been a good time.
Go. Staying on.
25 seconds and counting. We are still gold.
There we go.
20 seconds. Guidance alert. The guidance system now going internal. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Launch commit. Liftoff. We have liftoff.
Every time I'm gazing at the morning sun, looking through the lens of my eye, I change my direction and then I ask a question. Is it moving or am I just high? Well, maybe all the reasons for the change of seasons is not the way we think it should be. So could we be the center of the universe in an alternate reality? Am I standing still? Am I circling round? Now it's hard to say, oh yeah, an illusion in a magic show. I search for the truth because I wanna know, yeah.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
Every time I'm rocking on the face of the world, looking through the window of life, I feel outdated, but I appreciated the wisdom of embracing the light. Well, now that I am older, feeling kinda bolder, I think it's time to play what I feel. So I'll jam a few chords to a drum machine and a solo with the strings of steel. Are we going up? Are we coming down? Now it's hard to say, oh yeah, just computers with the software code. We do what we do and we think what we're told, yeah.
If you've retired, you don't have anything to worry about. It's the third time I've said that. I'll probably say it 3 more times. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda. If you've retired, you don't have anything to worry about. It's the third time I've said that. I'll probably say it 3 more times. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda.
Yeah. OT. T.O. Oh, Matt, I just made this beat. Think about your wonder why you haven't. Stand in the place where you live.
Also glints off of rivers and lakes when it passes over South America and Australia. It's the second time.
That we didn't see the first?
We didn't see the first.
Well, let's see. Lightning and was Central Australia and Antarctica, and the moon mainly surface liquid water. It'd be 30 range of water. Water is of water. This white solid stuff at the poles, probably there's this, if the Earth's other stuff at vapor above a liquid. So now you have it. And then the specular reflection, surface were smooth.
Right.
The surface were smooth.
Right.
That I was most interested to do is this.
Right.
And cows.
More or less address that problem at higher resolution.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever, on this program, talked about your own observations?
Well, no, Carl, we really appreciate that. And finally, we'd like to just close and tell you that Galileo is now, finally, we'd like about 2 hours, 33 minutes from its closest approach with the Earth. It's at an altitude of 84,912 kilometers. In closing, I'd like to give you my own personal observations of the Galileo Earth encounter. Over the last 3 hours, but however important these things may be, they really are just an hors d'oeuvre compared to the banquet of discoveries awaiting us at Jupiter in 3 years. Carl, we really appreciate that. The Earth's surface.
On behalf of NASA and the Galileo project.
Carl, we really appreciate that. Carl, we really appreciate that.
And now let's go back to the McKimmon Center, where Julie Hendry is standing by live and Dr. Carl Sagan is about to begin.
And by the way, I understand that we own public television tonight, and we own some North Carolina stations, including one that I own. Double. Bridge, 3-story house's attic. Double. Cornell secret honorary fraternity. Double. Called the Tomb. The Tomb. The fraternity was disbanded, and when Dr. Sagan acquired the property, he added the present living quarters. Double. Tell you that it wasn't a secret house of evil or anything, it was the tomb. Go down to a crawl of Carl they hope to do, but he's not around very much. Conservative estimate, he in the past 3 years. We are in pretty tall cotton here tonight, as we used to say back when we raised cotton in North Carolina.
There was nothing. Not a mouse, not a footprint, not a microbe, not even an organic molecule. Breathtaking splendor and beauty. And here is the warnings of scientists and says, all this greenhouse stuff is just some theory. on a planetary environment which we still insufficiently understand. Seriously, this is an issue that is extremely current today. Lydia is in Anatolia, contemporary Turkey.
The tomb.
Freons. And they are an especially interesting aspect of this because they are wholly man-made. You see, astronauts, many of them, in Earth orbit, seeing thin blue aura that surrounds the bright hemisphere, the illuminated hemisphere of the Earth, and our numbers have both reached a state where inadvertently we can pose a danger. If we had vast solar arrays that were absorbing sunlight and converting them into electricity, there is money to be made.
The tomb.
Solving these problems requires a transnational and a transgenerational perspective.
The tomb.
Provincializing, de-chauvinizing, an awareness of one species on one exquisite, fragile planet. And that's why I think that these very serious global environmental issues may have a deep silver lining. The binding up of the planet, the end of our adolescence, the approach to the maturity of our species. Thank you very much.
Are all about. This latter, particularly
the tomb,
to Cornell, also from Harvard.
Difficult to do, and of course there are none, but back 10, 20 years ago, every contemporary Kung San made a scientific calculation, did the trigonometry of the angle of the sun. That's not what it's about. This was tradition. Each generation taught the next, but someone had to have figured it out. And that someone had to be a scientist. It's flat as a board, of course. And then the next one of the Earth that none of us has ever seen. It's flat as a board, of course. Bottom of the Earth that none of us has ever seen. It's flat as a board, of course.
Bottom of the Earth that none of us has ever seen. It's flat as a board, of course.
There's absolutely no doubt. It's flat as a board, of course. From this fact that the stars, the planets, the sun, and the moon all go around us, and we're obviously not moving. It's an observed fact. Anybody who denies that there's something wrong with them. This is the geocentric, an easily understandable, achievable, and inspiring goal for the
Have you ever looked away from Earth into the black void?
In Alexandria at that time, there lived a man named Eratosthenes. Because he said Eratosthenes was second best in the world in everything. Eratosthenes was alpha. At that moment, the sun was exactly overhead. At that moment, the sun was exactly overhead. It was an observation that someone else might easily have ignored. Sticks, shadows, reflections in wells, the position of the... At that moment, the sun was exactly overhead.
To the Earth. There's no evidence for this. I just say that's not implausible. But to have several visits a day, I think, is straining credulity.
Everyday matters of what possible importance might they be. But Eratosthenes, in a way, made the world. Because Eratosthenes had the presence of mind in the 21st. And it turns out, sticks do. Why would anyone lie on such a trivial matter? Eratosthenes asked himself, I've inserted 2 sticks, or obelisks. No shadow at all, provided the Earth is flat. That's the right answer. Alexandria is the same length? That also makes sense on a flat Earth. That's the right answer. Eratosthenes knew on a flat Earth, but the greater the curvature, the bigger the difference. Everyday matters of what possible importance might they be? That's the right answer. Possible importance might they be? But Eratosthenes' only tools were sticks, eyes, feet, and brains, plus a zest for experiment. That also makes sense on a flat Earth. Pretty good figuring for 2,200 years ago. Out and we can go into our houses and do our flat business. There's some other directions simultaneously at right angles to those familiar 3 dimensions. But Eratosthenes, we know we are approaching the grandest of mysteries. Alexandria is the same length? That also makes sense on a flat Earth.
Aristophanes! Ridiculous! You got it!
But Eratosthenes...
Ridiculous! You got it!
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water. It's not funny. I'm going to say it real slow for you. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water. Won't you fight for your life?
Flat out things I gotta say. Roundies, hear me out. Stop bending theories. It's time to straighten things out. You think about the edge, not the guy from YouTube. Gotta prove you roundies wrong, so I strolled outside. Flat cat, flat battery, let's theorize. I took a really long stick and put it on the ground. That bitch stay flat, cause the earth's not round. The earth is flat and I'll prove it in this song. Just like my Mountain Dew that's been out too long. My credit card, flat. My ruler, flat. This paper, flat. Where I live, flat. The tires on my back, flat. The soul in my hand, flat. My single pitch, flat. This whole world, flat. The top, then the stop at the bottom probably fell off. Look, the earth been soaring through the sky since the flat world's birth. You're not believing this and calling us schmucks. I'll show you what's round. Take a look. This paper, flat. Where I live, flat. The tires on my back, flat. The soul in my hand, flat. My single pitch, flat. This whole world, flat. Luckily the moon's flat, there's no dark side. Nobody went there and lied. Hey roundies, how's that hardcore doing? You're filling kids' head with the shit you're spewing. So I took a big bow to the edge of the world, and before my little eyes were through the world, there was dragons and beasts and awful death like that. I stay right home cause the world's so flat, yeah. My credit card, flat. My ruler, flat. This paper, flat. Where I live, flat. The tires on my back, flat. The soul in my hand, flat. My single pitch, flat. This whole world, flat.
Online and stuff. A lot of people are talking about martial law.
Complete hoax.
It's just, that doesn't exist. I mean,
well, I kind of get what some people are thinking. They're saying, in the sense of, if you're in your city and they tell you you have to stay inside.
Well, but that's a different deal. First of all, what they would say is non-essential businesses have to close, like what they've done in Italy.
Yeah.
You're already seeing that. But martial law talks about like soldiers in the streets and forcing people into their homes. I mean, this is not that kind of country. What you are going to see, you're already seeing in some jurisdictions, is they're saying businesses have to close at 11, or non-essential businesses can't be open, and that's going to hurt economically. But grocery stores, gas stations, drug stores are exempted. People still have to go to work in certain places. But that's a far cry from what they're putting out there.
If they're mandating you, when they're telling you it's a curfew at 8 p.m. and you can't come back out until 5 a.m.
Yeah, so that, again, like Puerto Rico's done that, and some jurisdictions have done that. Again, that's not martial law. I mean, we have curfews when there are hurricanes. We have curfews when there are natural disasters. This is not the last dangerous rumor that's going to get put out there.
So you expect more to come?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's people, probably trolls all over the world, that would love to use this to divide us and drive us crazy. I would listen. Here's what I would listen to. I would listen to the experts from the CDC, like Dr. Fauci. I would listen to the people, your governors in your states, when the task force in the White House.
I've heard you can't be around 1,000 people. Then it was 500.
Well, they lowered
yesterday the recommendation. And now
it's
it's almost like 10 people.
No, well, I don't know what different states are doing. The CDC put out a recommendation that any event that brings together more than 50 people outside of an office setting, or some other thing of that nature, be postponed for the next 8 weeks. It's a recommendation, it's a guideline that I hope most jurisdictions will follow. And again, this is about limiting.
I'm telling you, I've done a lot of these interviews, well, a few of them from space. The technology now is amazing. The picture, guys, you look like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
See the hair?
I don't know. We're going to have to do something for you.
I want to do it. I know.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Watch this. Can everybody float around for us? That was really cool, Chris. Look at her. Look at her.
I think Sandy's hair is pretty much a dead giveaway.
Wow. It is.
Oh, there you go. There's a pose for you right there.
That is so cool.
The trip he took to the moon with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. So that's what inspired me, that particular book. After that, I read lots and lots more that just inspired me further, but that was really the one that set it all off.
Great answer. Why don't we take another question from YouTube? We have a couple more minutes before this portion of the event concludes.
Hello, astronauts of the International Space Station. My name is Carolina Morales, and I'm a student of the Neil Armstrong Institute in Monterrey, Mexico. On behalf of my classmates, we would like to ask you the following question. How are you prepared to face medical emergencies in the space station? How do you treat regular sickness, and what do you do in case you need surgical attention? Thank you very much.
From International Space Station, Terry Wirtz, the current ISS commander, and Samantha Cristoforetti, the first Italian female astronaut in space. Hi Terry, buongiorno Samantha. Thank you very much for joining us on Euronews. I would like to start by asking how you feel about the other 3 crew members returning to Earth. As the next crew will arrive at the end of March, do you feel a bit lonely up there in space?
You know, it was sad.
And what comes after the International Space Station once its mission is over? How do we ensure the presence of humans in space?
Well, that's a great question. The plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. We only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe.
You know, I've always said that rich are dying for our real estate to launch their rockets. We won't charge you too much. Just go ahead. If you beat us to Mars, we'll be very happy, and you'll be even more famous. But they do like, explain that. Where's Eric? They do like rockets for some reason, huh? They like those rockets. But you know what? As long as it's an American rich person, that's good, okay? They can beat us. We'll save a little money and they can beat us, and we're taking full credit for it. Don't worry about it. But we'll be setting aggressive timelines, challenging old ways of doing business, and we will be expecting real results. And we are making our incredible facilities, okay, available to these people that have been doing so incredibly by themselves on rocketry. So you're invited. The rent won't be high. I am instructing my administration to the fucking space. Rich guys like rockets and so do the names. Some rich guys making rockets and the penalties just to get that
Publication 1207, 1988.
Earth be flat, earth be still. Earth be flat, earth be still. Earth ain't going anywhere. Don't give me all your flaming lies and your bowl shaped like a pear. How many times have you been to the moon? Do you think we even care? Well, I say 0 times, and we've got hungry people here, and it matters deep in here. We're not whirling or hurtling or turning. The sun and moon are small and near. It seems the people are now waking up from 500,000 years of sleep. You cast a spell you named Copernicus and fenced the people in like sheep. No longer. Truth is power. We take our power back. this earth plane to unite and share the truth of this creation. The humble ones will overcome their desperation and make a paradise, a restoration. Earth be flat, earth be still. Earth be flat, earth be still, and it matters deep in here. Earth be flat, earth be still.
Starts with an earth, flat background. Wait, birds and snakes, an airplane, and Lenny Bruce is not a. The business first, flat earthers licking their wounds. Business first, flat earthers licking their wounds. Fire, the country's in ruins. First, flat earthers licking their wounds. Think about your wonder why you haven't stand in the place where you live. Now face where think about the place. You live, wonder why you haven't. Season is calm, falling, wishes were trees without direction. Wonder why. Think about the place where you live.
Maybe Flat Earth. My name is Jim Lovell, I'm an astronaut man. On a lonely horse I ride around the earth in an old tin can with a spaceman by my side. Before you know it, we'll be out on the moon, being all heroic, well that's just what we do. We were riding along when we heard a big bang. Houston gave a shout. They said, look out the window of your old tin can, you got oxygen spilling out. You got a couple of hours till you run out of gas and then you patch it up. What a pain in the ass, he said, Jimmy, gotta get us out of this. We know you're not prepared for this. You gotta do some rocket surgery to recreate the atmosphere. But I am getting out of here tomorrow, Apollo 13. My name is Jim Lovell, I'm a regular guy. I don't ask for no special thanks. I'm just an ordinary hero in a certain light. I look a little like Tom Hanks. My co-pilot Jack Swigert sometimes gets mistaken for the Hollywood actor Kevin Bacon, but I think there's at least 6 degrees of separation. But anyways, there's this big old oxygen leak that wants to have us dead. And I was hired as a pilot, it's what I'm gonna do, but Houston wants something else instead. They say, tie a plastic cup with a piece of string, pour some liquid paper over everything, plug that hole with a big buck ball. Listen up, Houston, I got news for you all. I did not sign up for this. I'm getting quite fed up with this. You got me doing rocket surgery to recreate the atmosphere. But I am getting out of here tomorrow, Apollo 13. Apollo 11, 8, 9, and 10 all went without a hitch. I didn't train for 40 years to be an astronaut, just to end up someone's bitch. That's how we lost the moon. I did not sign up for this. Forgive me if I'm sounding pissed. They got me doing rocket surgery to recreate the atmosphere. But I am getting out of here tomorrow, Apollo 13.
Just another one of those flat earthers.
Sometimes I'm discouraged by the shills and the haters, but then I see plainly daily numbers growing greater as the labor of a few can change the views of millions. See deception undone, the sun's crepuscular brilliance. The killing everywhere clouds my sunny disposition. If we don't change ourselves, we're never gonna change the system. A vision of compassion seen in my homie Eric's work showed me every single life in this world has worth and deserves to be respected unless it tries to deprive the life or the rights of others like you and I. Try to break the mold they sold you into in your youth and see not a single curve of proof, emotion to boot. Truth doesn't change, though the lies so often do. Facts speak for themselves, the earth doesn't fucking move. Accruing numbers by the second, we're gonna take this world back. Because despite all the lies, we can see the earth's flat. Smoke a new bay, burning through another globe. Reawaken God consciousness, they wanna leave broke. We are all part of creation, that's a self-apparent fact. Even if they finally shut us down, the world is still flat. They can lock me up in chains, they can blow my fucking brains. They can leave my work in flames, but the truth will never change. They can block a million videos, they can make up the stats. They can purge the whole internet, the earth is still flat.
Earth is a level, motionless plane with the sun, moon, and stars revolving over and around us, just as you experience every day. You are not living on a tilting, wobbling, spinning sphere pair with bendy oceans and upside-down people in Australia. You cannot dig a hole to China and find more sky below you. Water cannot curve around and cling to a ball, no matter how many times you say gravity grabs it. You know, gravity. It just grabs everything and sticks it to the globe.
It's smoking Dubai, burning through another globe. Reawaken God consciousness, they wanna leave broke. We are all part of creation, that's a self-apparent fact. Even if they finally shut us down, the world is still flat. They can lock me up in chains, they can blow my fucking brains, they can leave my work in flames, but the truth will never change. They can block a million videos, they can make up the stats, they can purge the whole internet, the earth is still flat. It's smoking Dubai, burning through another globe. Reawaken God consciousness, they wanna leave broke. We are all part of creation, that's a self-apparent fact. Even if they finally shut us down, the world is still flat. They can lock me up in chains, they can blow my fucking brains, they can leave my work in flames, but the truth will never change. They can block a million videos, they can make up the stats, they can purge the whole internet, the earth is still flat.
Walking on the flat earth.
Derek Rodriguez.
Walking on the flat earth.
Or should I say earth?
I'm not walking on the spinning ball.
You think the earth is round, cause that's what they told ya. From elementary school, you trained to be a glober. Have you ever been out of space to see the curve? Or you just rely on NASA's every spoken word? Regurgitated theories, they be so alive. I see the boat again, it came back in sight. Used a pair of binoculars, brought it back to life. The sun is not 93 million miles. No. Parallel sun rays through the clouds. Straight down. The Most High showeth his handiwork. When he made the firmament and earth. Earth is flat. Where's the curve? Earth is flat. Where's the curve? Tell him. Earth is flat. Where's the curve? Earth is flat. Where's the curve? Man, I'm telling you, earth is flat. Where's the curve? Earth is flat. Where's the curve? Tell him, earth is flat. Where's the curve? Earth is flat. Where's the curve? Man, I'm telling you, earth is flat.
Go.
Sorry, I want to know about the flat Earth theory because I don't want to say I'm a.
Hey man, you ever look into flat Earth? Once you go flat, you never go back.
You can tell it's real because it looks so
like
a lot of people are like, Eddie,
once you
really?
go flat,
Tell us
you
why.
never go back.
Yes, please.
It's really simple. Once you go flat, you never go back. Once you go flat, you never go back. Look into it. What lies before us is the opportunity to forge a new world order. Once you go flat, you never go back. Once you go flat, you never go back. Look into it. Hey man, you ever look into flat Earth?
Fuck no. You guys are all crazy.
I'm crazy because of that shit. Hey man, you ever look into flat Earth?
To this day.
Every day.
To this day.
Every day. Look into it. They believe it. The narration is all programming. What's above us, and what we're on, we're being lied to. And everyone watches that. That's always been the plan.
Eddie. Ladies and gentlemen.
The world is flat.
What
What was going through your mind? How amazed were you to see your roadster up there?
Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder, look into it. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder, ladder. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder, look into it. Flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth.
It's my desire, if not for you, to try to talk to each other. What I say is responsible. Ridiculous. I alone am responsible for the same. Our history will be what we make it.
Look into it. Ladder, 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 ladder. Look into it.
I'll remind you often.
That's
he
what we
summons you to court.
Kill innovation. A one-world government.
We were driving in the road and we saw something in the sky.
Alien invasion. Alien invasion. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder, ladder, ladder. Once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Look into it. Once you go
Today,
flat, you
start
never
working
go back.
on not touching your face because
once you go flat, you never go back. Ladder. Look into it.
Headed back down south, gonna see my daddy's mistress, gonna buy back her forgiveness, gonna pay off every witness. One more time down south, sell the family headstones, drag a bag of dry bones, make good on my back nose. So if I come to your door, let me sleep on your floor. I'll give you all I have and a little more. Sleep lay down south, look up my former mentors and a little more. I walk in the evening. Subway trains and signs of life. It's like the city laughing. Reach for the stars, bring down the moon, capture the sound of silence.
One take Drake, that's what they call me.
Oh, we've done a few.
I am sure they too join.
A black hole like this one has a dramatic effect on time, slowing it down far more than anything else in the galaxy. That makes it a natural time machine.
Oh? How'd you figure that out? Traveled there, measured it, touched it, no doubt. No really, I believe you, anything you say, cause I'm just as damn gullible as everyone you play. See, NASA gets paid 50 million bucks a day, so they fill you full of black holes till they turn gray. Just a little CGI and a script full of lies. Now I'm fucking Bill Nye, the super pseudoscience guy, yeah. Bill, then the kids show, let him spout what he pleases. Black hole skin cream makes you seem younger. Bought that shit wholesale like a monger. Slows down time in your mind while you're using it. Cosmic placebo effect for the ludicrous. The trick is to speak with authority and confidence, even though it's really all assumption and hypothesis.
They have to be on exactly the right trajectory and speed, or they will never escape.
Once you go flat, there's no going back. The plan of attack is to stick to the facts. The whole thing will fall when we give up the ball and prove that the earth isn't moving at all. So it's time to commit, put an end to the shit. Draw lines in the sand, take sides, defam up the minds that began. Show lies when a man realizes the plan is to take all they can. Educate yourself first, then take a stand so you can demand the truth and command the proof in your hands. When nukes on the damn mouths, you can remain calm and say you're all wrong. It's a fact that earth is flash. NASA stole trillions and gave you CGI pics. Straight off the dome. From a video game design standpoint, maybe. So Paul Michael Bales made a diss track about me. Him and Neil deGrasse Tyson think they can rap now. Okay. I'm in. Hey, what's going on? Bustin' raps now. I'm flowing on with a song for your mom. Tell her Earth's flat and her ass is the bomb. Tell her Iraq sells crack to Iran. Tell her I'll be back with a smack for her son. Then tell her she's fat like a Renaissance cunt. Tell her she's whack like a 90s pun. Then start a slow clap when the rap's all done. Tell her all that, then tell her one more. Tell her that you were the son of a whore. When she asks Sue and tells you to snitch, tell her her son is a son of a bitch. Anyway, it's me, Yoga Guy, weaponized version 2.3. Here to bring truth to the unwashed masses. Force you to put on your daily lip glasses. What you see, was I right? The Earth's fucking flat, Holocaust. Bad guy, Talmudic Jews have control of your mind. Masons are tools singing Shalom Lahaim. Jesuits too, they're the Vatican kind. The presidents come from a royal bloodline. Well, the Jews choose which fool's ass is assigned. The government's leading in mafia crime. The word broken down means control over the mind. They probably would kill me for making this rhyme. And when they do that, take the hint as a sign. The Dubé was right all along the whole time. Once you go flat, there's no going back. The plan of attack is stick to the facts. The whole thing will fall when we give up the ball and prove that the earth isn't moving at all. So it's time to commit, put an end to this shit. Draw lines in the sand, take sides with the fan with the minds that they can. Show lines from the man, realize that the plan is to take all they can. Educate yourself first, then take a stand so you can demand the truth and command the proof in your hands. When nukes on the damn mails, you can remain calm and say you're all wrong. It's a fact that earth is flat, bitch. NASA stole trillions and gave you CGI pics. Once you go flat, there's no going back. The plan of attack is to stick to the facts. The whole thing will fall when we give up the ball and prove that the earth isn't moving at all. So it's time to commit, put an end to this shit. Draw lines in the sand, take sides with the fam of the minds that began. Show lies when the man realizes the plan is to take all they can. Educate yourself first, then take a stand so you can demand the truth and command the proof in your hands. When nukes on the damn mails, you can remain calm and say you're all wrong. It's a fact that earth is flat. NASA stole trillions and gave you CGI pics.
The earth ain't flat.
Flat.
That is that.
You can't put money on a NASDAQ unless the world is flat.
Flat.
Unless the world is flat.
Pull on the hill, see the world spinning round.
Flat.
You're no longer on the ball, no longer riding on the merry-go-round. This is it.
Flat.
Things go round, these things go round, these things go round, these things go round, and leave you blind.
Here come old flat top, he flat top, he flat top, flat top, he flat top, he flat top.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blast off.
One small step for man. One small step for man.
The earth is flat and that's a matter of fact. I'm tired of being lied to, I'm taking my mind back. I'm taking my life back and I'm waking up slowly. I wanna thank you, Yeshua, for all that you showed me. F.a.a.b we know you lie and NASA you do too. Cause in the sky there's a dome that you cannot get through. You say that you can, but you put fluoride in our water. Shrinking our pineal glands, we're just sheep to the slaughter. Man, we're Jews to the chamber. Our lives are in danger, but sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. Our lives are confliction, technology addiction. Take a look around at the world that you live in. Are you spinning? Are you upside down? You really believe the earth is round? Gravity is a theory and is yet to be proven, and so is Big Bang, relativity, and the theory of evolution. A fish became a lizard, then a monkey, then a man. The heliocentric theory is part of their master plan. Are you starting to understand their plan? You're significant, special, and you have a purpose, man. You're significant, special, and have a purpose. What's wrong, little Lucifer? Why you looking so nervous? We were programmed at a young age to sit still and not ask questions. Sit in our assigned seat and force-fed their lessons. We need to raise our hand for permission to use the bathroom. And there's a globe in every classroom. I want it back, I want it back.
You can't have it, it's ours.
I want it back, I want it back. You can't have it, it's mine.
You will never get it back. It's too late.
I want it back, I want it back. You can't have it, it's my mind, it's not yours.
You can't have it, it's ours.
I want it back, I want it back. You can't have it, it's my mind, it's not yours, not anymore.
It's my desire, it's not my duty to try to talk to you. Candor about what is happening on the radio. If what I say is responsible, I alone.
Not anymore.
How would you like it if someone told you the truth?
Here if I get.
I went to Paris in France, found a little romance. She was walking down the boulevard. I know I should have been good, I never thought that I would. Double crossing, baby, cross my heart. Put a little rocking and a little wine, got me thinking about a little vine. What's a lonely boy to do? She looks so fine. How silly can you get? Yeah, yeah. How silly can you get? Ooh, yeah. I never ever meant to spend. Wish you looked at me that way when I was young and carefree. Made me forget. How silly can you get? Yeah, yeah. How silly can you get?
This world is not what you think it is.
All the time. I don't know who took out the light. I really don't see my arms will hold tonight. I woke next day on my own. A little birdie had flown. Left the number of the telephone. I walked right out on the street, spilling a hole in my jeans. A piece of paper with a message on. Should I call her up or should I tear it up? Think I'll call her up, then we can rip it up. What's a lonely boy to do? She looks so fine. How silly can you get? Yeah, yeah. How silly can you get? Ooh, yeah. I never ever meant to stray. You wish you looked at me that way when I was young and get married. Made me forget. How silly can you get? Yeah, yeah. How silly can you get? Ooh, yeah. I just beat her all the time. I don't know who's got the light. I only know she's in my arms. We hold tonight. I went to Paris in France, found a little romance. She was walking down the boulevard. I know I should have been good, I never thought that I would. Be double crossing, baby, cross my heart. A little rockin' and a little stop me thinking about the little girl of mine. How could I be so cruel, my pet? Silly can you get? No more fooling around, you bet. How silly can you get?
I'm just stuck here in a dream.
Space is fake. Motionless
us it was a globe, just so they could control our mind, body, and soul. It's flat, the material plane. You got the balls on the brain, heliocentric, insane. Infinite plane or a dome, it may never be known, but the earth is our home. Yeah, want all my flat earthers out there to sing along? Yeah, come on. The earth is flat. 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 Earth is flat.
The biggest cover-up and conspiracy in history. We've been completely deluded for 500 years.
F.a.a.b. unity. Peace.
Yeah. I started to question things like my own beliefs and my own existence. Like, how does this work? What is the mind? There's this voice that keeps saying shit. What is the truth? What do I know? Am I the body or am I the soul? If I was to die, where would I go? Do I even matter if this is how it goes? But when I woke up, you know what I realized? I am the soul, and this body is just my vehicle. And with that awakening came so much more. Information about the system and how it works. Cause if you know the truth, you regain self-control. Not even a remote chance to get programmed or deceived no more. You start to do some research. That's researching what you think you know when you find out that the earth is actually not a spinning globe. What the fuck are you saying? You sound and thought I'm insane. But it's true, we live on a planet flat and stationary. The truth will set you free. Won't go back to that mental celling. Now I live my life in peace, which back then couldn't do if you paid me. Realize, there's realize and realize. Don't be surprised when you find the truth will deep inside. When I see the sky, the sun, the moon, they seem alive. Wish I could fly, so I can see my home with no CGI.
Tactical error, crack like a mirror. Eric Dubé bringing lyrical terror. Hate speech Al-Qaeda, but my rhymes are tighter. I rap for the masses, tracks full of classics. Masterful, plastered with factual fanfare. Banned, but I'm back to attack with a fair share. Crap that I can't bear, cause I'm a care bear. Where is the justice we need to come up in? 19.5 billion per year is what we pay them just to hear. We're spinning right round the Milky Way, waiting on the sun to die one day. But that isn't happening, that is inaccurate. Stick to the facts, not fear-mongering rocket masons are liars, NASA are masons, masons that lie like they're snakes in the garden. The sun isn't dying, your soul is immortal, and so is the solace of solar return. You will ever remember in embers and flames, the end of December dismemberment plan. It's a good band. By the way, watch what they say. Everything your government tells you is fake, especially anything about outer space. The only thing they could ever make I would rate is every politician's fucking head on a plate. But we're probably never gonna see that day, cause everybody's living in the rainbow way, with no real man left, cause they've all turned.
There's realize and realize. Don't be surprised when you find the truth will deep inside. When I see the sky, the sun, the moon, they seem alive. Wish I could fly, so I can see my home with no CGI. Realize, there's realize and realize. Don't be surprised when you find the truth will deep inside. When I see the sky, the sun, the moon, they seem alive. Wish I could fly.
How would you like it if someone told you the truth?
Like what? What could they say?
He says the earth is definitely flat.
I used to think the world was flat.
I could while away the hours, conferring with the flowers, consulting with the rain. My head I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching. If I only had a brain, well, I'd unravel every riddle for any individual in trouble or in pain. With the thoughts I'd be thinking, I could be another Lincoln if I only had a brain. Oh, I could tell you why the ocean's near the shore. Oh, I could think of things I never thunk before, and then I'd sit and think some more. Oh, I wouldn't be just enough, in my head all full of stuff and my heart all full of pain. I would dance and be merry, life would be a ding-a-dairy if I only had a brain. One more time. I could think of things I never thunk before, and then I'd sit and think some more. Oh, I wouldn't be just enough, in my head all full of stuff and my heart all full of pain. I'd dance and be merry, life would be a ding-a-dairy if I only had a brain. And perhaps I deserve you and be even worthy of you if I only had a brain.
I do realize that when you were on the moon, you had very little time for gazing upwards. But could you tell us something about what the sky actually looks like from the moon, the sun, the earth, the stars, if any, and so on?
The sky is a deep black when viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon. The Earth is the only visible object other than the sun that can be seen, although there have been some reports of seeing planets. I myself did not see planets from the surface, but I suspect they might be visible. The Earth is quite beautiful from space and from the moon. It looks quite small and quite remote, but it's very blue and covered with white lace and of the clouds, and the continents are clearly seen, although they have very little color from that distance.
Aye, and remember, Mr. Armstrong has got to have the right stuff to be able to go into outer space, and must have the physical and mental capabilities to win the Krypton factor twice over in one day. So when the Gauge's descriptive words and experience is no better than the Russian space dogs, I go investigate. Aye, here comes the science bit, right? In order to find out if Mr. Armstrong is telling the truth, we're going to use two methods of experimentation. First method, we're going to measure his physical reaction to the questions, in this instance, the Gauge's eye movements. Take a look at this picture diagram. When a person is accessing real thoughts, sounds and emotions, that person will look to their left in an automatic response in retrieving that stored information. And so, when a person is looking to their right, that person is constructing or fabricating images and sounds, and at the same time trying to empathise with the lie, while constantly checking themselves for validity and continuity. They say the bigger the lie, the more the brain has to work to formulate the sequence. Therefore, this creates an automatic response in behaviour, which can be measured. Method 2 is a psychology method called linguistic text analysis. and has 4 key features. 1. Liars often reference themselves less when making deceptive statements. 2. Liars tend to involve others and disassociate themselves. 3. Liars explain things in the most simple terms. 4. Liars will often paralie with long, drawn-out patterns of speech. And finally, liars will often come prepared with an antidote or story to pad the lie. I'm going to call this the commode theory. Keep this in mind for later. And aye, just in case you were wondering, Mr. Armstrong is indeed right-handed, so we'll be continuing with our experiment. Cheers.
Mr. Armstrong, I do realise that when you were on the moon, you had very little time for gazing upwards. But could you tell us something about what the sky actually looks like from the moon, the sun, the earth, the stars, if any, and so on?
The sky is a deep black when viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon. The Earth is the only visible object other than the sun that can be seen, although there have been some reports of seeing planets. I myself did not see planets from the surface, but I suspect they might be visible. The Earth is quite beautiful from space and from the moon. It looks quite small and quite remote, but it's very blue and covered with white lace and of the clouds, and the continents are clearly seen, although they have very little color from that distance.
What about the sun? Could you see any trace of the corona?
No, the glare from the sun on the helmet visor was too difficult to pick out the corona. The only time we could see the corona was during an eclipse of the sun from the moon. That is, when we were flying through the moon's shadow and could observe the solar corona peeking out from behind the moon.
Looking at the photographs that you brought back, the coloured photographs of the moon's surface, it seems that the colour of the surface actually varies according to the angle from which you see it. Is this so? Does it do this?
Yes, it certainly does. It's a characteristic that we observe first while traveling around the moon in orbit. You can see that at the terminator, at the boundary between the black part of the moon and the lighted part of the moon, it was as if you were looking at a television set with the contrast turned to full contrast, very black and very white. As you moved further into the light, there were more and more shades of gray. But as you moved further, such that the sun was higher above the horizon, you actually start to see the tans and browns appear, although at a very low level. Similarly, on the surface of the moon, the same characteristic is evident. You can see browns if the sun is high enough. Apollo 12, for example, landed while the sun was only 5 degrees above the horizon. So when they arrived, they saw no browns or tans anywhere, only fairly high contrast grays.
But you did?
But yes, I did. The sun was at 11 degrees. And Apollo 12 did also the next day when they arose from their sleeping period and the sun was higher. Of course, then the browns were observable to them.
When you were actually walking about on the moon's surface and kicking about a certain amount of dust, did you notice any local colour? And also, were you at all subconsciously worried about the possibility of unsafe areas?
Well, the color is a puzzling phenomenon on the moon, aside from the characteristics that I've already mentioned. You generally have the impression of being on a desert-like surface with rather light-colored hues. Yet when you look at the material at close range, as if in your hand, you find it's a charcoal gray, in fact, and we were never able to find any things that were very different from that color. I suspect that as we get more and more samples with future flights, we will see that there is, in fact, some color, but the optical properties on the moon are most peculiar.
When you were actually walking about, did you have any difficulty in distance judging? Because I think I heard you say once that far things looked quite near.
Yes, we had some difficulties in perception of distance. For example, our television camera we judged to be from the cockpit of the lunar module only about 50 to 60 feet away, yet we knew that we had pulled it out to the full extension of a 100-foot cable.
Pause it, video.
Yes, we had some difficulties in perception of distance. Large crater,
from your knowledge,
place to do scientific work, and quite practical.
Mr. Armstrong.
But I discovered that the people who love are what we need if we get up above it all. And that's that, unless the world is flat.
People don't want to know what the truth is because they could never ever handle it. They would be too devastated.
It's funny you should say that. I used to have a portable telly in the indoor area, but it went on the blink a few months ago.
I studied many faces.
Is that when the rumors about you being dead surfaced? Do you remember that? Do you remember remember how that started? What were your feelings about that?
There are two Paul McCartney. There are two Paul McCartney. There are two Paul McCartney.
And what do you? How do you manage something like that? Because it was a global rumor.
You know, but it was a little bit strange because people did start looking at me like,
right.
Is it him or a very good double?
Well, that was the idea. That was the other part of it, that there was a guy who looked like you taking your place.
No, well, this is him.
Yeah.
You know, well, this is him.
Yeah.
You know, well, this is him.
Twigged that this, they've shut themselves in a bit.
It's clearly obvious that the world isn't flat.
And now for something completely different.
Before I get started here is that Flat Earth is something exploring the flat Earth is flat. Flat Earth, we are on a flat stationary plane, a flat motionless plane. Flat Earth about flat Earth, and just enjoy the globe fairy tale as you have done all your life thus far. Stop watching this video and any others like it right now. Recreated over any suitably flat surface on flat Earth. I will link it in the description box. Flat Earth, Infinite flat plane of flat Earth, or flat maps of navigating by flat modern sea charts. Flat map of
that the Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat. How it's flat? They just began to question whether or not the Earth is in fact an 8,000 mile diameter oblate spheroid filled with molten rock, spinning on its wobbly axis at 1,000 miles per hour as it hurtles through a vacuum at 67,000 miles per hour whilst retaining its fragile atmosphere. And call me crazy, but it certainly doesn't seem that way. For example,
that the Earth
we're exposed to this idea as an unquestioned truth from an extremely early age. The ubiquitous globe images everywhere on the internet, on corporate logos, those of news corporations, in Hollywood films.
That the Earth was flat.
The reality is that the very notion that Earth may not be what we believe it is an extremely unsettling thought for the vast majority of humans who stop to consider
that
it.
The Earth was flat.
To consider any alternative to the familiar globe is in fact the exact polar opposite of clinging to comfortable myths.
Shit, they're lying to us!
One reason Flat Earth, from available data, the Flat Earth
to fall off the edge.
You've got an edge? Where is the edge? Or are we just assuming there must be an edge to the Flat Earth because there is a spherical edge all around the globe model we know and love?
That the Earth was flat. What a flat Earth would be like, because it's just...
For example.
Mason. What you doing, Mason? 33. Where you going, Mason? What you gonna do? What you gonna see? What you doing, Mason? 33. What you doing, Mason?
33, 33, 33, 33. What you doing, Mason? What you doing? Where you going, Mason? What you brewing? What you doing, Mason? What you doing? Where you going, Mason? What kind of stuff are you making? What you doing, Mason? 33, 33, 33, 33. What you doing, Mason? 33, 33. What you doing, Mason? 33, what you doing? 33, what you doing? Are you with Allah or the Kabbalah? Just hanging around with spheres. Between them is a nice little red piece of pine cone. Why you like a third so much, huh, Mason? You gotta figure it out. What you doing? What you brewing? Where you taking us? What you losing? Lose my mind. You made me. Where you going? You made this. What is it? I see. Mason. What's up with the symbolism, Mason? Special school. What you doing, Mason? 33. What you doing, Mason? 33, 33, 33, 33. What you doing, Mason? 33, 33, 33. Where you going, Mason? Where you doing? Who you chasing? What you brewing? What you thinking? What you drinking? What you thinking? Mason, what you doing, Mason? 33, 33, 33. Where you going, Mason? Without me, without me, without me, without me. Everywhere with the symbolism, making hypnotism, trying to keep us with our own brains and our own minds, thinking we're the ones insane. 33, 33, 33, 33. What you doing, Mason? 33, 33, 33. What is it? Where is it? Hidden in this circle of the world. Or is it a square? Circle in the sky, triangles up, asking please, please, why am I in this realm? What you doing, Mason? What you doing? Doing, Mason? Where you going? Take us again and again. What you doing, Mason?
Answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth! Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns.
The CIA is the problem. As a general rule, when Dick Cheney favors a foreign policy position, Americans should really be ashamed of
backbone of a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide, and then questions the manner in which I provide it.
I certainly hope not.
What's with everybody saying the world's flat, Charles? Kyrie said that, Shaq said that. Where's this all coming from?
And you know, you're laughing.
Yeah.
And we're laughing. And then then we realize he's 100% serious.
Yeah, I know.
And then to prove it, we have to actually look it up. We have to Google it and explain to him the difference. But it was hilarious. And that's the great thing about being on live television.
Yeah.
And when somebody says something like that, you're like, dude, you're serious? Yeah, I can see the moon. I can't see California.
The Space Force. Does that make sense? We have a Space Force.
Good morning, Vietnam! Hey, it's another delightful day here in Vacation Land.
Great Satchmo.
You're acting very suspicious. I want to know what's going on, and I want to know now.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Talking about water that is shaping, that's fine. So.
But I saw you, I can't remember where, one of your podcasts or somewhere, because you did your spiel about like how things that when they first were being discovered, because you did your spiel about like how things that
and flattered that I could bring you to a new place intellectually. In 1917, Albert Einstein,
because you did your
related emission of radiation.
Ooh.
Flattered that I
old super
yes,
hot, like no oxygen.
Here's the best one. As an instrument of weaponry, so
and then what would we take pictures of our food with?
Martian life.
Unbelievable. Now
it's called panspermia.
Unbelievable. Now
this was like the first time helicopters mattered. They're in about science and don't care.
Care. If they don't care, doesn't matter how much we say to them that's hot stuff, they're not going to listen. I was listening to a conversation on a YouTube thing, and somebody was talking about how they think it's actually possible that the world is flat. And the kids catch that enthusiasm. It's contagious.
Here's one.
Sentence.
Technology revolution. Sure. And by 1/3 of the GDP of the world.